Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Dr. Claire. Good evening, everyone.
I'm glad we finally. Please, let's exercise our patience for others to come in. Mr. Promise, are you ready for us? Hello, Mr. Promise. Facilitator, are you ready? Unmute yourself. Your microphone is muted.
All right, I'm ready for you. Can you hear me now?
All right, good evening. Yes, yes, yes.
All right, good evening.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
All right, so I welcome everyone to the final session on our audio-video production. So sorry for the little disruption at the beginning. I'm glad it was quickly sorted out. The facilitator is already here. There is no need to take more time. Our time is fast spent. So please, you can do your introduction in the chat box while the facilitator kick off immediately. Thank you. Over to you, Mr. Promise.
All right, very good evening to all of us. So sorry we are starting behind our agreed time, but the time left, I think we can cover up quite the remaining part of the section. Yesterday we had time to go through various production processes and what you need to know before going to the field, and the various shots that you also need to have at the tip of your hands as a video maker. We also tried looking at what you need to understand before writing a script. Even before deciding to film, the concept, the ideas you have to put together before you go into that. We also try to do little justice to the technical crew members you need in case you are doing an elaborate project. We ended yesterday by looking at framing and composing a shot, the rule of thirds. That was where we stopped yesterday, and I want to reemphasize a little on that rule, then we move on. Dr. Ifeanyi, I'll beg you please to help me with the slides the way we did yesterday, so that people can also go through it, probably read while we were discussing. Hello, Doc.
Tell me early. Few minutes, let me get it.
All right. While doctor is getting it, like I was making us to understand yesterday, video making is an art that is likened to the human sense of perception. The human sense of perception. In fact, ideas have been looked into, and we've come to the understanding that the camera, which is the major equipment for video making, for collection of videos and sounds in video making, is modeled to the human head. Yeah, the camera is modeled to the human head. Like we have our eyes, we have our ears, we have our mouth, we have our nose to breathe, we have our brain in our head. That is what the camera is composed of. The lens is basically the eye of the camera. The lens is modeled to if you pick up even your phone, pick up your phone camera and you look directly into your phone camera lens, you see that it has almost the component of the eye. The lens is modeled to the human eyes. Then inside the camera, the enclosure, you have mechanism that we refer to as the camera brain. So whatever the eye sees, it is captured and interpreted into the camera, and is recorded and stored somewhere in the camera, which is what either the camera memory card does or what the tape does. To record the visual that the camera has seen and is interpreted. The interpretation is, it is now transformed now from what the camera has seen and stored in a memory card. Like we see, and our brain does the transformation of what we see, interpret what we see, and it's stored in some part of our brain. Now, you keep wondering, where is the nose and where is the mouth of the camera and the rest of them? Yes, the camera has got a mouth, because when you play back what you see, what you record, you have a means of hearing. So there's a speaker attached to the camera. So there's a speaker. There's a speaker attached to the camera. That speaker is as the mouth, and where you listen with your earpiece, So all that put together, you see that the camera is modeled to the human head. So we'll move on today. I hope I'm being heard loud and clear.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello, Doc. All right, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Now I want to reiterate a little on the slide before, the 9th slide, Doc, before the 10th slide. I was to go into the 10th slide, but let me reiterate a little on the 9th slide. The 9th slide, the 9th stage. Sorry, the 9th stage. That's slide 21, Doc. If you can get that one, where we have framing, composition of shot, and the rule of thoughts. You have that, Doc?
It's on. That's what's showing.
No. The 9th stage before the 10th stage.
Yeah, that's the 9th stage. I'm
from there. Yesterday, is that what it's showing?
Yes.
What I have is the 10th stage. Okay, anyway, the 9th stage, framing and composing a shot, the rule of thought. Now, yesterday I was trying to make us understand that this rule, thank you, Doc, this rule is a mandatory rule in composing shots, especially for those of us that have been doing interviews. It's a compulsory rule. Now, if you look at the vertical and the horizontal line, you can see that there is a meeting point. There is somewhere that they are meeting. There is a meeting point, an intersection. These points are where you have the four crosses on the slide. Ensure that whenever you are having to compose a shot, have a mental knowledge of the 9 parts of the screen. Just divide your set into these 9 parts. Always have it at the back of your mind. Divide it and ensure that your subject is placed at those intersections, either the intersections at the right of the screen or the intersection on the left side of the screen. Don't place them at the center. Always make sure that your subject is placed on those intersections. That will help you to get a good framing. It will help you to get a good framing. It will help you to get your looking room and your nose room. If anybody is, I guess my camera is on. If anybody is watching me from, is watching me from where I am, you will see that I am at an angle of my own camera. I'm not at the center, you know. You always have that at the back of your mind. It helps you to frame the shots you want. Then we can move to the 10th stage now. All right, to the 10th stage. Now, the 10th stage says when you're going to the field or you're going to shoot, you're moving with you as a producer, as a director, as an executive producer, you're going to the field with your cameraman or your DOP. Now, always know that so that you don't go to the field and you're having troubles with your cameraman or your DOP, there is disagreement. You should have this at the back of your mind that the cameraman or your DOP is the man in charge of the camera. He takes instruction, he or she takes instructions from you as the producer, the director, he takes instructions from you, but he is in charge of that equipment. Whatever happens to that equipment, he should be held responsible. So he's in charge of handling and manipulating that equipment, the camera, while taking instructions from you because he has knowledge of that camera. He has in-depth knowledge. Yes, as a producer, as a director, you are meant to have knowledge of
I think his network is giving him problems again.
Yeah, he's off. He's off.
Let's exercise the patient. He will come back.
I just don't know what's happening today. Hello? Can I be heard? Hello?
Yes, yes, welcome back.
Sorry, I don't know what's happening on today. Anyway, all right. Like I was saying, the cameraman is in charge, so you must give him that respect. He takes instruction, whatever technique you want, the cameraman will listen to it. So always understand that first, the cameraman dictates when the camera starts recording action and when to stop. You tell the camera, look, this is the thing we interview. You ask the cameraman, be ready for it. Are you ready, cameraman? Yes, camera, are you ready? You monitor your camera. You go and see that he has the frame you want. You say, okay, so are you ready? The person you're interviewing say, okay, we are good to go. Test your microphone, they test the microphone. So you say 1, 2, 3, camera rolling. He will press his camera. Then he will give you a sign that yes, he's ready. Then you say action. Then you roll on and move on with your questions and the rest of them. When you're done with your questions, you also key the cameraman by saying cut. When you cut, that's saying you're done with your questioning or you're done with what you're filming or what you're shooting. It is the cameraman that will decide if he's turning off the camera or not. You're not the one to command him, off the camera now. No, come on, off the camera. No. He's the one, because while he's behind the camera, he has other things that he's seeing that you are concentrating on other things. So he might, while you're filming, he might see even probably a wall gecko or a lizard that is on the wall that you didn't see because you are running interview. Your attention is between you and you that is interviewing and the interviewee that you are engaging. So he will want to take those shots because he knows that what you're doing, you might, maybe when you go to edit, you need that. So you allow him, he'll take a shot and he'll turn off the camera at his own time. Now, remember that while you are filming, mostly interviews, you must have what we call setup shots. What is a setup shot? Especially for documentaries, is necessary. I want to interview Dr. Ogumbi or Dr. Ojalapo, and he agreed. We are meeting in his office somewhere in Babalada. All right, I'll tell him, sir, I will be there by 9 o'clock. You're there by 9 o'clock. When you get to that place, Dr. Ogumbi is not there seated. You wait for him. When he comes, take time and tell him, sir, sorry, I want to see you drive into this complex. I want to see you get down in your car. I want to see you climb to your office. I want to see you open your door. I want to see you sit down and start your day. That is set up. Those shots you're taking, you're planning, he will oblige you those opportunities because you need those shots. When you will be telling people about Dr. Gumbi, you say, Dr. Gumbi is a lecturer at University of Port Harcourt. He works, he's a very good lover of students. Students move around with him, he educates them, interact with them, give them what they need to understand about management. He is someone that understands how to pass mentorship, how to pass information. He comes to work at regular, on daily basis, Monday to Saturdays. Even on Saturdays at his rest time, he comes to work, goes to his office, and while you are discussing all that, you are showing him come to work. You see him climb up. You see him greet his colleagues. You see him, those are set up shots. Even if you are interviewing a farmer, you say Mr. Kechuku is a young farmer in Enugu State. Mr. Kechuku has done a lot with the process from his yam product. He's used it to train his brothers. He's used it to build the house. He has used it to, you do set up shots of Mr. Kechuku. See Mr. Kechuku in his house. See him with his children. See Mr. Kechuku at the farm. See Mr. Kechuku peeling a yam. See Mr. Kechuku writing. You need to do all that so that when you are discussing, you have all those footage, irrespective of all that thing, because you just do interview and the person just sit there, it will be boring. But this set of shots will help you to engage your audience. And the man you're talking about, you know him very well, you did them not precise. So you must always have a set of shots. Then always follow the basic rules when you're doing this shoot, the basic rules of shot. Follow them. have a wide shot, have a medium shot, have a close-up shot. If I'm to shoot Mr. Kechuku and in his house and is peeling yam, for instance, he's now scaling the yam, the cover, trying to cook. I will first of all take Mr. Kechuku on the master shot, on a wide shot to see Mr. Kechuku and the yam and his house and his environment. You know, I'll tell him, okay, so we're doing a master shot, so let's see you with the yam trying to peel for some minutes. We say, okay, wait, let me do a medium shot. You go closer again to see Mr. Kechuku, just Mr. Kechuku and the yam are probably the pot and where he's seated a medium shot. You tell him you shoot, and you tell him wait. Then now you do a close-up shot. Close-up shot is shot that you take detail to detail. Now his hand on with a knife and peeling the yam. You see the closer shot of it. You know, you see a closer shot of his face as he's peeling the yam. You know, you see a closer shot of him trying to slice the yam. So you must follow this shot to get variety. So when you go to edit, you place your wide shot, you have the medium shot and the closer shot to feed in for people to see what you're doing. So try and follow those shots. Maintain continuity. If Mr. Kechuku came in and before he starts peeling, he dragged a little kitchen seat and he sat. When you want to do the medium shot, also have him to drag the seat and sit down. When you want to do the close-up now, you might not, but you always follow. That continuity must be there. Don't jump from there. You see him drag a seat, before you know, you are seeing him, maybe he's bending and he's not sitting any longer and he's place the cutting the yam. No, it will not work. When you get to your post-production, you have challenge. Okay, the next slide. Next slide. Always remember not to leave your camera on the tripod. Yes. Next slide. Always remember, don't keep your camera on the tripod unguarded. It's risky. It's risky. If your camera is on the tripod, your cameraman must be by it. You guide it, like I said, it's locker. You must reach, so you guide it. If not, someone will knock it down. So if you're not using it, take it off the camera, off the tripod, and keep it on the floor, on a safe part where nobody can hit it. Avoid it from also getting liquid. Liquid shouldn't touch your camera. Water, drinks, no. Avoid, don't buy cold drink and you put it in the camera bag or put it close to the camera. No, don't do that. It's risky. Now, always put on your headphone and listen to your sound whenever you are running interviews or you are filming. Always listen to your sound. That will help you to understand when you have distortions, when you have unwanted sound, when you have ambient sound that are not necessary. If you look at the picture there where I'm trying to interview the woman, you see me, my hands on my 2 ears. I'm trying to listen to the sound at the same time telling the lady I'm interviewing, can you say something so I'm hearing? So you must always put on your headphone. Avoid overexposed lights. Avoid overexposed lights. Overexposure means having too much light enter your camera, too much, the brightness is too much, that the picture is becoming whitish. No, avoid it. Avoid sun rays when you're filming, avoid sun rays or light rays, bulb light to enter to be facing your camera. Always let your light back your camera. Let them not face your camera. If they face your camera, you have a very bad picture. It's not encouraging. Mostly during sun, don't avoid sun rays. Avoid light entering your lens. That's what I mean by entering your camera, your lens. Whatever you see from your monitor or viewfinder, that is what you're recording. On the camera, you have your monitor, you have the monitor or the viewfinder. Whatever you see, that's what you're recording. So know what you're filming, know how you're framing, know who you are positioning. The camera will not see what you're not seeing. What you place the camera to see, that's what it's going to see. Even what you're hearing from your earphone, that is the same sound you are recording. So be careful and ensure that what you are recording is what you want to record. The sound you're picking is the sound you want to pick. Don't ever go to location without an advanced script. I said this yesterday. Your script is your Bible. Prepare it before going to location. Don't just go there and say, I have everything in my head. I know what I'm going to shoot. No, 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 no. You just forget the vitals. So go with your script. It's vital. And don't forget to prepare your shooting list before going. The shooting list will aid you to remember the shots you want to take. Next slide. Always do equipment check. Next slide. Always do equipment checklist and confirm your equipment. Confirm your equipment, everything you need to go with. Confirm them before you leave so that you don't get to Abeokuta or you get to Ondo State. That's when you remember that you didn't come with a camera battery. You can't even find it most times to buy. You can't find it because some cameras come with specifics. They come with some numbers, so you have challenge. So do a checklist, confirm everything at home before you leave. Always check you have your storage device for your camera. That is, for cameras that use memory card, ensure that you have memory cards with enough space. Ensure if it's a tape camera you're using, ensure that you have enough tapes to go with. And always remember to go with your extra storage device for external storage, like your hard drives. You must go with them, hard drives. Don't go with hard drives that you have overused, because the hard drive has got memory. If you get it overused, before you know it will crash. So always, every project, get a new hard drive. That's my advice. Every project, get a new hard drive for it. And let your hard drive have enough space so that you don't go to location and you're having challenge of where do I store, where do I save. You know? Always carry your tripod. Yesterday, doctor, you asked the question why shaky shots. Always go with your tripod. Your tripod will help you to have steady shots. If you look at the picture by this slide, you see me, you see my cameraman, you see a popular actor on set. Yeah, that's also a documentary, a docudrama I did for Nigeria Conservation, Conservation what in Lagos, Lekki there. You know what the cameraman, the DOP is holding there is called a steady cam. A steady cam. Now, it's very expensive now because we have to do a lot of movement shots. That's why he's carrying that. That thing is to help you have steady shots while you're moving. When you run with that, while your actor is crawling, you crawl with that. It's right. So, but tripod might not help you. Tripod basically helps you mostly when you're doing interviews. You are doing planned productions where you know that the movements you're giving, you're taking at a particular time is regulated. You know, it's planned. That's when tripod. But where you don't have unplanned movement, where the actor is free or the person is free to do movement, you need steady cams, you need other equipment that will help you to get those steady shots. All right, shoot all actions from different angles. Everything, take different angles, low angle, high angle, different angles. That will help you to have varieties. Video filmmaking is all about spontaneous use of shots, consistent shots. Have enough shots from different angles. It will help your audience to be glued to your project, to the screen. Explain beforehand why any action will need to be repeated. Yes, if you interview someone and probably in the course of the interview, you find out that the angle you're taking is not good, or you find out that the person is not giving you what you want. Stop and explain to the person and say, sorry, sir, I am sorry. This background is not giving us exactly what we want. I'm sorry, please, sir, can we change it? Or stop and say, sorry, sir, you pronounce this word wrongly. It is not adebati, it is adebiti. Explain to the person politely, because if you don't give that person polite explanation, most times they might get angry, and before you know it, they spoil your shoot. So you explain to the person politely, and the person will understand. The people will understand, and they want to give it back to you. So explain every action before they are repeated. Actions must take place in front of the camera. Of course, the camera must see what is shooting, so don't shoot behind the camera. Nobody will be behind the camera and say you're calling action. So everything must happen in front of the camera. Always copy and back up all your footages in safe external hard drive. Like I said, don't go with hard drive that you have overworked. There are hard drives that are not for they are not for visual content. Some hard drives are basically for documents. You know, so whenever you're going out, you want to buy a hard drive for visual content, you must confirm that the hard drives you're buying are basically for visual content, because the capacity and the strength of visuals are very heavy. They are strong, you know. So we always advise people you go for stronger hard drives like Transcend or WD. There are some good WDs that are very, very good. You can go for. All right, next slide. All right, we are looking at the 11th stage in video making. This is an interesting stage. The 11th stage, I want to discuss lighting. Lighting. You know, most times when we go out to do videos, mostly amateur videos, we don't understand what light is. We just rely on the daylight. Daylight is not necessary. If you watch my where I am right now, you understand that my video is more of lighted up. It's more of lighted up. There is a light of, I had to light where I am. 2-point lighting. I have 2-point lighting where I am. But for you to get good image, lighting is very vital. You must have your lights. And for filming, the basic lighting technique that we always want to teach people is the 3-point lighting. The 3-point lighting. There is 2-point lighting, there is 1-point lighting, there is 4-point, 5-point, 7-point, 12-point lighting. But for every work you're doing, the 3-point lighting is the basic. It gives you the major light point that you want if you have good lighting. You know, lighting helps you understand. It helps camera also to get the good image that are believable. So the 3-point lighting is basically the 3-point lighting is basically lighting your subject from 3 different points. The light will be placed 3 different points. That is 3-point lighting. They have different positions where you place your light. If you understand the 3-point lighting, you can light even the 12 points, you can light the 15 points, you can light anything in video making. All right, next slide. I want to explain what the 3 major lighting point lightings are. Next slide. The 3 major lights in 3-point lightings are the key light, the fill light, and the backlight. The key light, the fill light, and the backlight. These are the 3 major lights. And what is the key light? The key light is the strongest light. It's always placed at a side, one side of your subject, very close to your camera. It's always placed one side of your subject. In fact, it's the light that is closer to your camera from an angle facing your subject. You know, it gives more shadow. It's a stronger light. It gives more shadow, or basically to face your subject. Now, after the key light, you have the fill light. The fill light. Now, the fill light is placed directly, it's a secondary light actually, is placed directly opposite the key light. It's placed directly opposite the key light. What does it do? It helps to kill the shadow that the key light has provided. You know, when you put the key light, the key light now gives the shadow. The shadow is cast on the other side of your subject. So the fill light, when you put it opposite, it now returns back that light to position the light on your subject that kills the shadow. You know? It's usually a softer light and it's less brighter than the key light. Then you have the backlight. The backlight is the light that will be placed behind your subject. Now the backlight helps to model your subject, to create that image that the person is. You know, it distinguishes your subject from the background. Now, look at these three lights, how they operate. Immediately you pour you light up your key light. Your key light illuminates your subject. At the same time, it gives your background. Now it looks as if your subject is plastered to your background. You know, so the fill light now helps to kill that shadow that was cast back to the background that the key light have given. The fill light helps to kill that shadow and makes your subject to now stand out. To stand out. And what the backlight does now is to shape the subject completely. Now it creates that your subject now to be different from your background. So you see these 3 points are basic. If you go to bigger studios, there is the low light, there is the high light. That is the floor light that they will place on the floor, and there are lights that you see on the roof. They say the high light that they will rig on the roof. Those now you can see 5 or 6 or 7 of them just like that. Before you know, you're having 5-point lighting, 12-point lighting, 15-point lighting. But these 3 basic lights will help you, especially when you're doing documentaries and you're doing interviews. These 3 basic lights will help you in achieving all that. Next slide. Next slide. All right. We are going to define one of the. Okay, this is the final process or final stage in film. Maybe give you the tips to note when editing. Editing is like you might the body or bring together. In conformity with your concepts and your script. So, what are the things you need to do? Please follow these procedures whenever you want to edit. Insert the hard drive or SD card containing your footage to your edit suite or computer. When you come back, that hard drive that you've been gathering or you've been storing all your footages, you insert them first in your computer after you turned on the computer. Then now you open the software. The basic softwares are basically you are using Adobe Premiere Pro or you're using Avid. For those of us who have got the Mac products, the Apple products, the editing software that is more compatible with Apple products is the Final Cut. Yes, the Adobe Premiere can also work there, but most of them come with the Final Cut. These are video editing software. Immediately you open your your editing software, your project, you go to the project where you create the project for edit. you create a folder and a sequence or timeline. Then what do? You start importing your footages. You import your footages. As you print the folder, you drag your footage to your timeline, and you use your edit tools. There are so many of them. The pen, there are the eraser. You use them to cut your edit, you drag, just like that. You know, you lay your voice at your edit. Under your sequence, you lay your voice, and you always remember to always save your project. You must have a backup save of your project as you're editing. You must have a backup save of your project in case the software crashes. You just go back. You can get under a system or under software install. You'll see you have your project immediately. You just plug it in. You click on the backup project. It will just show where you stop. After editing, you know you have your project according to the minutes and the sequence the way you want. The audio is done, everything is done. You now go to your export. You export in the format you have. The editor give you different formats. You export in the format you want, and your project is ready. So basically, that is the various stages in editing. Editing is a practical thing, like filming is a practical thing too. So it is only when you have a software and you have footages that someone can start teaching you, okay, this is how to collect these footages. But these are basically the steps to take when you are editing. So with this 12th stage, we are done with video film making. We are done with audiovisual film making with this 12th stage. These are the stages that you have to understand in video film making. But we'll look at the next slide, just tips on gathering, on creating audio file. That the 13th stage I want to touch is on creating audio file. Next slide, ma'am. I want to believe all of us will have a system, a laptop or a desktop that we've been working with. Audio files are easy. Audio files are contents that are only listenable. They are not seen. They are listenable. You can create them either by what you have said or what you gather with a device. Now, if you have a laptop, for instance, you have your research or you have a project written out and you want to create it, you want it to be in the audio format. Your laptop can save you all that. It's as easy as first of all, you must have a microphone. You must have a microphone. On your laptop, there is space for microphone and space for earpiece. Plug that microphone into the microphone jack, that space, the jack for the microphone, so that you can talk. Then go to your computer where you have the start icon that is always at the lower side of your laptop. That start icon. If you click on the start icon, you can't find your the sound recorder application. Just type there, just type sound recorder. Sound recorder. It will show you your sound recorder app. It will show your sound recorder app. Immediately shows your sound recorder app. You will see, you click on it. The sound recorder will boot out. It will boot up with number. You see it there, and you see start recording. Now, the only challenge is that this computer sound recorder records at 30 seconds, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think 30 seconds. So every 30 seconds, it will go off. It's not that it goes off, it will stop recording. You just click again, start recording, you know. Whatever you record is stored in your computer. Whatever your record is stored in your computer, you know. So when you're done recording, always remember that you position your mouth very well, a little far from your microphone, so you don't have plosive. You know, when you're done recording, you go back to that your system and extract all what you have recorded. You can put them in your hard drive. You know, you put them in your hard drive. You take it to an audio editor, or if you have an Adobe software, there's an Adobe software for audio recording. It's called Adobe Studio. It's called Adobe Studio. You just put all what you have recorded on the timeline and arrange them together to get what you want. Then you can export. You export, it gives you all what you have said. Immediately you export it, you have it to play either in your phone or in your car or wherever you want, or you want to send it out to people, you have it. So that is one way of recording an audio file. Another way is with your phone. Your phone, there are softwares that you can download from the Play Store. There are audio records that you can load from the Play Store. Immediately you just type audio recorder or sound recorder. You'll see a lot of them. Just download any of them. It's as this too. With your phone, just place. Immediately you click on that icon, you start recording the audios. That most times the phone audio recorders, most times they can take more than 20, 30 minutes without, some of them take 10, 15 minutes. They can record sound up to that level and they'll stop, you still click again. So you see the same thing. At the end of the day, you can extract what you have and you compile them together in a situation whereby you want them to roll together, because you join them together in edit and they export for you, you get what you want. That is another way too. There is also another material we call Zoom recorder. The Zoom recorder comes in different, there is Zoom H4, there is Zoom H3. Though this one is around the 100 recording device for gaming. You can also get that. The Zoom recorder is as easy to as what I'm explaining to all of us. With the Zoom recorder, you can just insert a memory card into the Zoom recorder. You place there is also another equipment we call the Tascam. It's just like the Zoom recorder too. The Tascam, you can use it also to record sound basically with a memory card. So these are basically the ways you can gather audio files and get them out to the format you want, and you send them the way you want them, anywhere you want them, you send them out. So basically that's how you can create an audio file. With this, I want to say a very big thank you for participating. But before I go out, Dogma, hello, Doc. Okay, fine.
I'm
Can you
hearing
hear?
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
before I go out, I have one or two things I want to show us, especially in camera, some of the things I have mentioned. I wanted to show it with one camera here so that we can see them handheld. So can we take off the slide?
Okay.
All right. I just don't understand what's happening today. My, what's it called, is going off and on. I want to believe it won't go off again. Okay. I will start with the camera. What I have here is a big camera. I guess we can say it. This is a Panasonic camera. It's a HD camera, Panasonic. Now, if this is a camera you want to use to film, every camera has the same mechanism, no difference. If you know one camera, you know all. If this is a camera you want to film, yesterday I was telling us that immediately you pick up the camera, you study the camera very well, read the manual. What are the first things you need to do? You need to find out this camera, where is the battery spot? Look at the camera. This is the battery spot of this camera. Look at this hole here. That's the battery spot of the camera. So for me to use this camera, the first thing I will do is get the battery. This is this camera's battery. This is the camera battery. Now I will insert it. The camera battery, I've got an arrow to teach me, this particular one, to teach me how to place it. Here, there is an arrow here. So I will put it in first and lock it up. It's in there now. Now, immediately I do this, the next thing I'll look for is, where is the turn on and turn off point on this camera? Where is the turn on and turn off point on this camera? So I will look around it. I'll look around it. Now, this is, if you look at here, there is a red button here. Here. There's a red button here. That red button is not the turn on and turn off point, but around it, there is something that says turn on and turn off. See, if there's something I do here now, it goes off. So there is a turn on and turn off point on this camera. Immediately you turn it on, it will come on. Now, if you look at it, immediately I turned it on, there is a red light that ignited. Okay, let me turn it off again. I don't know if we are seeing it.
Yes, we are.
Let me turn it off again. Now, what I'm trying to make us understand. Now, if you look here, if I turn this on now, you see a red light will come up. There's a tiny red light. It shows that the camera is on. Now, when I turn it on, the next thing I need to do is, this is the lens, the camera lens is covered. It's covered. I will just pull it off. Or if I don't want to pull it off first, I pick my card. This is a card that the camera uses, an SD card that the camera uses. This is a 32 gig card that the camera uses. Now, I'll look for the spot where this card is supposed to be inserted because this is what I am recording with. In this camera, this is the spot where it's supposed to go in. I'll open it. This is the spot where it's supposed to go in. I'll open it. Then I will insert the card. I hope there's no card in it. Oh, this card is bad. I just saw it now. Okay, but that's where I will insert the card. Here, in this hole. Every camera that uses card will have this spot. Immediately I insert it here, I'll close it. Then you don't keep it open, you close it. Then I'll take off my lens cover. Can you see? I'll take off my lens cover, the camera is now. Now, this is the viewfinder, a monitor, the camera monitor. This is the camera monitor. I'll open it. Whatever I am filming, I am seeing it from this monitor. That is, if I don't want to use the viewfinder, this is what we call the viewfinder. This is what we call the viewfinder, where you place your eye to study. But where you don't want to use this, the technology have given us this, like the screen that you are going to use to see directly, you know? So you can use this. Now, if I'm ready to film, when I'm ready to film, what do? I need to look for the record button. Every camera record button is always red. This one, I've got two record buttons, two record knobs. One is this one that I show you, this one that I was trying to sample here. This red thing is a record knob. The on and off is around it. The on and off button is around it, but this red one is a record knob. That is why if I hold my camera, hold my camera in this way. If I hold my camera in this way, I can monitor from here if I don't want to use the viewfinder. If I don't want to use the viewfinder this way, I can monitor from here what I'm seeing. So my thumb is the one operating the red knob. This my big thumb operates. Immediately presses it, I have my record. There's another record knob up here. Up here, there's another red knob. Look at it. There's another one there. So I can use it too. I can use it to press record. But you can't press two of them at the same time. So these are basically areas that you need to know in camera. There are some buttons here that will help you also to place your camera. Remember, I told us that you don't record with auto, always record with manual. So this place, every camera has got where you can decide whether manual or auto. Yeah, manual, yeah, auto. Now, you can only use auto when you're recording events. When you're recording events, because events are not planned. Events are not planned. Now, this camera also has the capacity of getting light attached to it. This is a light. For those of us who also want to use our camcorders to do recording, you need this light. This is called a sun gun light. It's called a sun gun light. This light can be attached to the camera. It will be attached to the camera in this spot. It's called a sun gun light. This light can help you to achieve a one-point lighting. The light comes with a battery. This is the battery. Because you buy it with a battery. It's always advisable to have more than one of these batteries. You have more than one so that, because the light consumes a lot of the energy from the battery. So you have more than one and the charger. So as you're filming, you have one of them charged. Immediately that one runs down, you use another one. This is basically for those of us that do documentary. Now, every camera has an inbuilt mic. An inbuilt mic. But it's not always advisable to use the inbuilt mic. Look at the mic for this one. This is the inbuilt microphone. It's here. Somewhere here. It's not always advisable because this mic collects a lot of unwanted ambient sound, wind. It can even take wind. So you have what we call an external mic. This is an external mic that came with this camera. It's an external mic that came with this camera. It has the battery spot where you can put your battery. Finger batteries, that's what it uses. So you can put batteries in it. You put battery, without battery, it will not work. You lock it up. When you lock it up, you attach that mic here. It's either you're attaching it here, where you're not using the light, or you're attaching it here. This camera have got two spaces for you to attach the microphone. So most of the cameras you see are TV houses use, news gathering houses use, you see that most times they come like this. Now, when this is the cable for the mic, so you need to also understand that there is somewhere that this mic will go into. So you look for it. For this one, it's located somewhere around here. It's located somewhere here. Somewhere around here. So you look for it and you must plug in the microphone. You plug it in. Even if you're using a presenter microphone and you want your sound to be collected in your camera, you unplug this one and put it in here. Then the presenter will hold the long cable and be talking. You put it in here to gather the sound direct into the camera. What else? Every camera must have a charger. For this camera, this is the charger. Must have a charger. For this camera, this is the charger. An external hard drive, like I said, is what most of us, it comes in different gigs. You can get your 500 gig, you can get to 1,000, 1 terabyte, that's 1,000 gig, 2 terabytes. It comes, this is a standard hard drive. Okay. I think that is all what I have now to display for us for the now. Hello, Doc.
Yeah, I'm with you.
All right.
All right,
I think
thank
that's
you.
all what I have for the now to display.
Thank you
Basically,
very, very much.
thank you for the time. I am now open to attend to maybe any questions that we have. Thank you.
Thank you once again, our facilitator. It's been wonderful listening to you since yesterday. As an agricultural extensionist, I know that I have acquired so much.
Hello,
so
Doc.
much. Can you hear me? Hello? So without taking time, because I wouldn't want us to spend so much time today, let's just take those that have questions, comments, observation. I can see Dr. Issa's hand up. Dr. Issa, you have the floor.
Oh. Just let to raise his hand. Coordinator.
Yes.
Thank you, ma. Let me join you to appreciate the presenter. It's been very educative and enlightening. I want to take us back a bit so that probably we can have maybe impact points. For me, I know
Oh, Dr. Issa, your network is breaking. I think we've lost him. I don't know if anyone else has
Hello, Doc.
questions, so we take another person while we wait for Dr. Issa to come back.
Are you there?
Does anyone else have questions?
Are you still there?
Any question, any comment, observation? The floor is open.
Okay, mine is a comment, please.
All right, Dr. Nagwa, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to thank Mr. Promise for that wonderful presentation. I don't know him before now, but that presentation was good. And we hope to work more with him in hereafter, not only in the climate smart climate change group, but also in the general NIFAAS platform. So, Mr. Promise, thank you very much. You did a wonderful job. Thank you, sir, for your time. Thank you for the resources. I am done, ma.
All right, Mr. Promise, I hope you're hearing us. Oh, network. Thank you, Dr. Onagwa, for appreciating our facilitator. I think he's been so wonderful. He's been wonderful. Any other comment, observation, question? Is Dr. Issa back?
Issa is not back.
He's not back.
But I think the class was the training was straightforward. Not many people are familiar with their phone cameras and the other cameras. What this workshop had done is to throw more light on those features that we never knew how to use. And I think they are straightforward, really straightforward.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Any other comment? Any other comment? Anyway, Mr. Promise will still be with us in our WhatsApp platform, just like other facilitators. They will
Please,
all
before
be
my
there. Oh, Dr. Issa, you're back.
sorry, ma, before my network will take me away again, let me just make this comment. I beg.
Go ahead. Go
Thank
ahead.
you, ma. I said I feel much at home, especially somebody who read a bit of journalism. But I would like a situation where this effort is properly tamed towards the need of those on this platform. My expectation is that this looks like a background, but how do we now go to essential things for those of us on this platform? The belief is this, that when I was hearing, looking at the way camera is handled and some other things, to me, I handle camera, but I also believe that most of us on this platform will want to contract that out. That we are not used to camera, except nowadays where our phone can do so many other things, and probably the use of the phone that can serve the purpose for which this training has been staged would have been better. So my expectation, if Mr. Owama is still with us, is it not better that we see a situation where this thing can be watered down to come to our level and see what exactly can we pick, especially for what we need and for what we do. That's my candid opinion. That
Hello.
we should not just stop here.
Is anyone there?
Yes, I hear you.
That we should not just stop here, but see how do we make what we have learned from this, how do we make it more relevant to our situation? Because
Anyone hear
this
me?
camera that is being held now is sophisticated. A lot of us have not even, most of us, sorry to say, might not have seen this type of camera, not to talk of its operationality. So in what way, if it can serve as a question for the resource person, in what way can our phone, our laptop, or smaller gadgets be used to still bring out our infographics?
Okay, before the facilitator will go on to talk, Dr. Issa, just a little comment to your question. The facilitator is using a sophisticated camera to describe. But I want you to know that the principles he's giving to us addresses every situation. Take for instance, if you're talking of positioning your picture, even if you're using your phone to make the video, you have to position one. In fact, when he was talking about how to position a picture, I know that recently we are told I am going to be inducted into the Nigerian Young Academy very soon, and we are told to do this short video of ourselves.
Okay.
And this position of a thing was stressed. In fact, it was yesterday and today when he was explaining it, I really got to understand what those people mean by that.
Okay.
So you will always see yourself in a situation where
Okay.
you have to apply these principles, whether you are using your phone or you are using it. It may not even be, he is using a sophisticated one because of his own background. We may not have such, but the principles he has given us applies to whether we are using the phone or we are using, like myself, I have a smaller one that is more portable. I used to go to the field, and for those of us that when we are going to the field, we carry our cameras and all that. If you don't know these principles, honestly, as he was talking, I was just telling, in fact, I was identifying the mistakes I made in the past. Because if you don't know those principles, you will not be able to do even your short videos. Time has passed when, as an extension agent, you will totally rely on other people to do things for you. Now we are talking of the skills you have as a person. Time has passed when we will enter our classroom in computer application and tell students how to put it. But as an extension agent, you at least have some skill to teach these people some basic concepts, some basic principles.
Excuse me.
So I believe that what he's given us, the examples he may be using, like the sophisticated camera, may not apply to, but those things, those basic principles and operations still apply to whether we are using our phone to capture. And if we have listened to him well, while he was talking, I was blaming myself. So you see that most times when we go to field, we don't even bother. Pictures, things we are supposed to pick up for our documentaries, we don't bother about them. We just go do our work and we go away. But if we have these things at the back of our head, we'll be able to apply them. That at any point in time we want to do, I know I've done a lot of work on climate change, and I'm just blaming myself within me. Pictures I am supposed to have gathered and do all these short videos. I didn't do them. If I had these skills before now, I'm sure I would have been particular about picking those pictures and organizing them. But because I don't have some of this knowledge before now, I didn't attach any importance to them. So I don't believe that it is out of context for us as agricultural extension practitioners. I am very convinced that we need the knowledge, and it also applies to us depending on how we see it and how we want to bring it down to our own context. Thank you. The facilitator is still here with us. He can attend to you too.
Okay, but I think the coordinator is getting me wrong. I never said out of context. I'm not saying out of context. I'm only talking about watering down. Some of what you have said, I mean, I put them if they're okay. And I've not said it is out of context, but I've only said that how can we further simplify? Maybe, for example, can we have an infographic that has been presented? You know, it drives it home better, and everybody can see that, okay, the result of all we have done, that is, I mean, if you have something yourself that probably you have done in the past, whether it is perfect or not, it will still help us further. And that's why I'm saying that I didn't say it's irrelevant, but I'm saying that it can drive it home better. And we should not just stop here. That's what I've said.
I think Chris's network is giving him problem again.
Okay, I thought I'm the only one not hearing anything. Hello?
Yes, sir,
Hello?
you are the only one not hearing anything. You disappeared.
I disappeared. I'm back now.
We didn't hear you. You didn't hear yourself.
Are you serious? Don't say that too.
I'm very.
Coordinator, you didn't hear me?
We stopped hearing you at that time now. You went off.
Oh, wow. So what should I do?
We have to
Buy good
conduct a deliverance
But
for
did you
this
get
network.
my
There's
point?
always
But
going
did
on
you
and
get my
off.
point? But did you get my point, ma?
We
Yes,
were
I
trying
got
to
your
get
point
it
very
when you
well.
went off.
Okay. The summary is that
Hello?
I didn't say it's irrelevant, but
Hello?
that we should not stop here.
Yeah, I think we can continue this discussion on our WhatsApp platform.
Okay.
Personally, you know that when Dr. Issa, you made mention of something, you said some of we are going to contract them out to professional cameramen and photographers. Agreed, I agree with you. But you will also that the concept be promoted by Access Agriculture, for example, is to make the ordinary extension person, ordinary man on the streets, to just know how to use his phone and his small camera to record something. We see these things every day. And you get somewhere, you get a serious information, is serious information that is going on. You won't need to call any cameraman. You can use your phone just there and then, and you video it, and then you share it. We're just talking about experience sharing. And some of these things, of course, you agree with me. Our cameramen that we have in our institute, you know them. Many of them were trained with this black and white bifocal cameras. We find it very difficult to adapt to the new cameras. I mean, the new trend. So they still take this studio, looking at real-time gathering. I go somewhere and I see something going on. I use my camera and I use it well. Practice if I time events might have passed. So what we are learning now, extension person who when he needs to share or he thinks is good go on that people take and give meanings to what you call this as a professional course, where not just ordinary photographers, but you take a photograph and you speak to it, and it comes out to the public and speak back to the public. Photojournalism. So I think what's Mr. Promise has given us is to make us more complete extension agricultural advisors who can go out with your little camera. Then you know the functions and the features, and you do better. But then I also agree with you that maybe we also need to look at how can we apply the cameras for specific climate smart activities, especially I say climate smart, specific climate smart activities or foresight activities, and also for reporting. You just talk about infographics for reporting. I'll be looking out for these infographics. Some of the discussions, I want us to come out with serious, concrete infographics. That one, I agree with you.
Thank you.
Very much.
I think you have now hit it. The last thing is where you have hit it, where I'm actually going. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. He is not the one that will take us on infographics. It is Dr. Eukaria, the person taking us on policy brief. She will also handle the infographic. Anyway, your point is well noted. But when you give someone a job to do, the person has to work within the context of what you have given. What we have given is video, audio, making audio video. He is not from same background with us. So it is left for us to go and now draw it down to our own particular area and how it applies to us and how we can also apply it to the things we do. He is to teach us how to use our video and do our the camera and do our video and audio and all that. So it's now left for us to apply it to our activities as those in CSA. So with that, I don't know if there is we have any other questions for him, or we bring the meeting to an end and continue the discussion on our WhatsApp group. Please, can I call on who is there? Dr. Sidikwat, are you there? Please, can you give a vote of thanks to our facilitator?
I hope my assignment, Doc, now I can hear very well. I hope I can give assignments too.
Hello?
Very well.
Yeah, you can. Go ahead.
Yes, because there's an assignment that referred. So any of us to look at our various areas and see what you can do. All right. One, just one assignment, but it has bullets. Develop an idea or concept. Are we writing it down?
I'm sure the coordinator will be writing it so that he can transmit it on our WhatsApp.
All right. Develop an idea or concept for a documentary and attempt the following.
Good.
Create a script with the visual and audiovisual description. Develop 7 interview questions for the project. Enumerate and explain the basic shots intended to be used for that project. And state and explain the equipment required to achieve this the documentary project. Now, if you can do this, you can take up any issue about as your idea and concept and follow the steps of giving to see how you can put it in your various areas.
Okay.
Question.
All right.
A clarification.
Okay.
Can I speak?
Already you are speaking.
With you.
Okay. You said we should develop an idea, a concept on a documentary. Is it, are you giving us a time, say, the time frame, say documentary for 5 minutes, documentary for 2 minutes, documentary for, or we should just develop the idea?
Develop the idea for a documentary. Don't say 10 minutes. That would be too heavy for you.
Aha.
I was thinking for 5 minutes, 10 minutes will be fine.
10 minutes is big.
All right,
Okay,
5 minutes.
10 minutes is
5
big.
minutes. 5
Yeah,
minutes.
5
Okay,
minutes,
let's do
thank
5
you.
minutes. 5
Thank
minutes.
you.
Okay, that will be okay. That 10 minutes will be fine. If you can do between 5 and 10 minutes, that would be okay.
Between 5 and 10. Better.
All right. Thank you, facilitator. As we do his assignment, as I always say, at the end of the capacity building, we have our own group project. All of us in CSA group, we have our own group project. We cannot just come and have these trainings and we just go away. No, we have to make impact. We have to showcase what we have learned. So at the end of the training, we have our own documentary on CSA to do. We have a policy brief to draft. All the things we've learned, I have shared us into groups. We are going to work on those things and make impact, do them, put them up in Twitter, put them up in all the social networks that we belong to. We have to make impact. So let us be gathering our pictures, our short videos. When we see all this climate change effects and all that, I traveled somewhere, I saw the flooding and all that. Take the pictures and keep them. We are going to use them to do our project, to show that we've actually learned what we've been doing since almost a month and now. So I encourage us to try our facilitators' assignments so that we'll be able to do ours when the time comes. So for Dr. Issa, be prepared though, because we are going to be the ones that we tailor down what we have learned to our own context.
Okay,
we are now going to apply it to our own field as it applies to us.
Okay, now.
Thank you very much.
Is giraffe allowed?
Dr. Sidiquat, please, can you help us with the vote of thanks?
Okay, thank you. Good evening once again, everybody. I want to specially thank and appreciate Mr. Promise Owama. I hope I'm correct. For the beautiful presentation since yesterday. For the beautiful presentation since yesterday. We are very grateful. I believe that now that we have ended the lecture, the assignments that we are given will be like a sort of feedback. And I hope this will now make the facilitator proud that we actually imbibed and understood all that he has taught us. Let's not mind the big camera. It doesn't matter. It's the principle behind the big camera that matters. At least we are better equipped. And I hope that if we venture into field now for work, we should be able to record, be it audio or video of whatever task that we have ahead of us. So I want to say thank you so much for giving us the rich, content. And we hope that if we call on you some other time, be it at the level of Climate Smart or at the level of the broad NIFAAS, group, you'll be willing and ready to attend to us. But on a lighter note, I would like to add that maybe what Dr. Issa was trying to say was that he wanted Orijo. I don't know whether you know what Orijo is. like spoon feeding. That yes, you've taken us through that course. We would have appreciated if you now come down to the level of, baby feeding or spoon feeding. But
I clap you, Daddy.
that's just on a lighter note. We already digested what you've given to us so far. So
Don't
thank
mind
you so
Clara.
much. Thank you so much for the beautiful presentation. We appreciate it. So over to the coordinator for official closing.
Thank
You
you.
didn't,
Thank
you
you
didn't
so
thank me.
much. Thank you. Dr. Isa, why were you interrupting her? Please.
Sorry, ma. She
You
didn't thank
don't
me. She was only
interrupt people
thanking.
when they speak.
She
Be
was only
polite for
thanking.
once.
She was only thanking you and thanking the resource person. What about me?
I was told to appreciate the facilitator.
It's
Sorry.
all right. Let me manage.
I think this strike is somehow affecting Dr. Isa. He has not been able to see people to talk to. That is his problem. So any little meeting we have, he's taking advantage of it.
Then Dr. Clara, please permit me to step on Dr. Isa and Dr. Onagwa.
Why now?
Again, it will be on a lighter note. I think that's Zaria. Is it that the network there is so poor?
No, we are close to
they're
the Emir's
always...
Palace.
Dr. Isa, don't interrupt her. Allow her to
We are
finish.
close to the Emir's Palace. And, we are, you should understand.
Please allow me, please. I have the floor. Dr. Isa,
Go
please allow
ahead,
me.
my sister. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
So is it that they are in the jungle or they're
Motion for
always on
adjournment, please.
the road
Motion
driving,
for
such that
adjournment,
whenever they are
please.
talking to us, that's when they will now be,
Motion for adjournment.
dragging
Coordinator.
and dancing and singing.
In fact, we need to do something. We need to do something about their network. Because the thing is even becoming a problem to us in our meetings.
Motion for
Anytime
adjournment.
they want to talk, you have to look for something and block your ears because of the noise. Not
Motion
only that we
for-
can't hear them, the noise that comes from their end.
Motion for adjournment.
Okay, with that, we'll form a committee that will look into it. Once again, thank you everyone for being part of this meeting. Every point, observation, comment, they are well noted. We will attend to them in our own small house.
Thank you.
And see how everything can be put together to make more meaning to us. Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate each and every one of us. We officially bring this meeting to an end. Thank you.
Thank you and good night.